Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft. I got a super easy video for you guys today because we already talked about the Ultimate Survival Medicine Guide. If you have not watched that video, make sure you watch that video and then come back to this one, because this week we're talking about the Survival Medicine Handbook. And when I did the video for this, I did not leave a link in the description box down below because I said you do not need both. And that is very accurate. So I'm going to leave a link to both of these in the description box of this video. And understand that this book is inside this one. Okay, it's scattered about. It's not like they took this book and the front half is this book and the back half is new. It's scattered in here through the different categories. But the same pictures, same everything from the survival guide is in the handbook. This one is just twice as big. So the handbook is twice the size as this one. And so it has much more situations, examples, things to look out for. And so if you own the Ultimate Survival Guide and you wish that there was more, you want to learn more, you want more scenarios, more everything, you might want to upgrade to the handbook. But if you own the handbook, you kind of already own the Ultimate Survival Guide. Okay? So if you own this, you do not need this. You kind of already have it. If you have this, you might want to upgrade that book to this one. And so for me personally, I read this one cover to cover. And I wanted more information. I thought this was a separate book. And so when I got this one, and I started reading it, and I realized that this book is inside here, I skipped all the parts that I already read. So I didn't read this one cover to cover. I kind of did, but everything that was inside this book, I skipped over in this book. Because again, it was the same pictures, same text, same charts, same everything. And so keep that in mind as well. If you don't have either one of these, okay, so I rank them the same. So if you haven't read or if you haven't watched the video on this, I rank them exactly the same. This one's just bigger. For me, I think that this one is the better buy. If you're going to own one and you're going to sit down and read one guaranteed, I would read this one. The issue is that people aren't going to read it because it's so big, it's so intimidating. You might want the littler one. Okay, because I know for myself, if I would have started with this one, I probably wouldn't have read it because I would have gotten probably halfway through it and been sick of reading it. Where this one, I got about halfway through it and I was like, well, I'm almost done. I might as well just keep going, right? And so I like this book a lot because of its size. And then because of its size, that made this one much more tolerable because I could skip half of it. And the only way to really get the knowledge out of these is to read them. You have to read the entirety of the chapter because it's not something like, let's see if I can find a good example here. It's not something that you can, here we go. You see this here? So it's talking about teeth and teeth decay and rotting. It doesn't say, if you see this, do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. What it says is, these are some common things that you might find. This is what causes them. These are some situations that might cause them. These are some situations that might make them worse. This is how you can treat them. If the situation is this, you might be able to treat it this way. But if you don't have access to this, you might be able to treat it that way. And so it's not a step-by-step guide on what to do. It's an informative book on what it is you're looking at, why it is the way it is, how to prevent it from ever being that way, how to treat it if it accidentally did end up that way. You know, so you kind of have to read the entirety of the chapter to get a good understanding of what it is that you are looking at and what you would need to do and what you would want to do and what the best case scenario is and what the worst case scenario is. And in order to get all that information, you have to read the whole thing. Okay, so this one is much more approachable. It's a lot smaller, easier to read. It's easier to get through the entirety of the book, and so you can get the knowledge from it. But if you like reading, if you like the sitting down and reading a book and you're just dive into it, this is the only one you need. You don't need this one. Me personally, I had to start with this one and go this one. I'm glad that I started the way that I did, because this one, like I said, would have been intimidating to me, and I wouldn't have made it through it because there's so much book left. You know what I mean? And so keep that in mind. I just wanted to show you the differences between the two books. They're not that different, but it does matter. Okay? So for me, I'm glad I own both, but for you, you probably don't need both. Just pick the one that caters to your lifestyle, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So with that being said, leave any knowledge or questions in that comment section. I know this kind of got rambly, and I said the same thing a bunch of times, but I just really want to make clear the differences between these two books, because I thought they were going to be different books. I thought that this was one book, and this was a completely different book with a lot more information, and they are not, and I don't want people ordering these books through my affiliate links, especially thinking that they are going to get two different books. Okay, this book is inside this one. This book has more knowledge. This one's less intimidating. So thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you on my next video.